Good evening, everyone. I know it's February already, but do you guys want to know what my New Year's resolution was? In fact, it's been my New Year's resolution for a few years now. It's to stop procrastinating. Every year I say this is going to be a resolution, and then once I realize I procrastinated the first 4 months of the year, I say, okay, that'll be my resolution next year. While this resolution is trivial, it ties into time management and how important it really is to who we are as people. To think critically, we must be able to manage our time and have a clear mind while able to complete all of our tasks. As someone who always procrastinates, I tend to leave a lot of tasks till the last minute. This is definitely detrimental to me, as I know that I love to, do, let's say, 8 hours of work, and I'll end up cramming it within the last 30 minutes available. Or I'll even do 30 minutes of work, something that could be very quickly, but it'll take me 8 hours to do it. It's definitely something that is a flaw of mine, and it's something that I have been able to learn throughout my time as a young adult. Time management is not just a peripheral activity. It is actually a core skill that we must all learn to become better people and better workers. For me, to be able to manage my time better, I was able to kind of break all activities into 3 major cores. The first for me was something between family and relationship. Everything that I knew that had to deal with my family, whether it was just something like having a good conversation with them or going out to eat with my grandparents, I knew that that was something that I wanted to take care of, and that was a priority to me. A tangible skill, something part of my family would be, trying to get a new TV for my mother, or working hard to make sure that she gets that new dress that she's always wanted. Whereas an intangible one is more the stuff that dealt with the conversations and the relationships that I built with them nonstop. For me, another goal had to do with my business and my career. I know that if I want to get better and excel in my career, I have to make sure that I manage my time accordingly. I can't just be showing up to work and have a 10-15 minute conversation with the coffee maker when I know that I have to be there. And when I'm at work, I'm physically doing my work, and I'm getting better every single day. So I was able to manage my time between those 2 categories. And the third category was always on personal development goals. How my inner self is a reflection of my outer self. So I need to always make sure that my inside, that I'm happy, and that I always keep myself in mind to know that I always have my well-oiled engine to be able to go. So once I was able to manage those 3 very important categories of time, I ended up finding a system called the personal Kanban system that helps a lot of people with their time management. In fact, it was a Japanese concept that inspired it, and it actually was the Toyota, who one of the first people who ever started the Kanban system, as a lot of us learned in some class that had to do with management. So Kanban is actually the Japanese word for signboard or billboard. In the industrial setting of Toyota, they used to have some stickers or post-its on their wall that would have to do with their whole Kanban system. On a personal level, I use something like post-its or even stickers or even just words that I can write up on cue cards or whatever. Nonetheless, the Kanban system is basically something that we kind of have been doing with just to-do lists. Like, even though I used to procrastinate, I used to do to-do lists all the time. Whether it was I had to write a paper, or I had to make my sister a birthday cake. It was always something that I would write down, and then minutes and hours would go by before I crossed anything off and I actually did something. This is a different version, as I'm someone who tends to multitask a lot. This was a way for me to find out that I can stop multitasking. As the Kanban would have 3 different categories. First is the options, which is basically your to-do list. The second category is your doing, which is everything that you're putting in while you're doing. And as someone who multitasks quite a bit, we got to have only 1 or 2 things in our doing column. And then the third is the done. Nothing better than sticking that post-it from the doing straight over to the done. So now we have our individual tasks. That ensures that we're not just gonna keep it all in our head. We're actually gonna physically write it down. Keep it in the options. Then once I knew, as I spoke about previously with my 3 main focal points for where I want to prioritize my time, if it was something, something for work or something a little bit more trivial, maybe I wouldn't touch that option yet. But if it's something, let's say it's my daughter's birthday and I need to make her a birthday cake, if I want my daughter to be happy, that's one of those options that I'm going to focus on right away. I will touch that option, put it into doing, and as I said, I don't want to multitask anymore, so I'm going to keep only 1 or 2 things. Maybe I had that paper that I had to finish or something. It'll be in my doing, and then as soon as I'm done and I'm physically done, making that cake or writing that paper, I will push that Post-it or the sticky or whatever it is, the cue card, and I put it into done. That in itself is part of the reason the Kanban is so important. That psychological reward of pushing something from doing into done is enough to make sure that anyone sticks to this pattern. As the people who in Japan who actually started this whole process, they know that as humans we're not lazy, but we definitely don't like to stick to a system that often. We have to see the real benefit right away, and that part of the reason this is so beneficial is because of the psychological reward we get from pushing it from doing to done. So now I know that my multitasking is part of my big flaws as a person. So I knew that I would only be able to keep 1 or 2 things into that doing, and then from there I can able to focus and really enable my ways, being enabled to complete the tasks. So now that I know exactly how to manage my time, whether it's just using that Kanban system or understanding the 3 crucial portions of my life, whether it's focusing on family and relationship, business, and then myself. Within doing those 3, I'm able to really truly become a better person at managing my time. So I hope those systems are able to help you, and I appreciate you guys listening to me tonight. I'm Vincent Crivello. Thank you very much.